Ruslan Rakimovich Khamarov, born in Berdyansk, Ukraine, in 1973, is a Ukrainian serial killer who killed 11 women from 2000 to 2003. He was sentenced to life imprisonment. Early years. Khamarov was born in the city of Berdyansk in 1973. On his father's line, he had ancestry from the Uyghur people. In 1981, his father abandoned the family, converted to Islam and moved to Makhachelia. In 1985, his mother committed suicide by jumping under a train. Most of Khamarov's childhood was spent in the orphanage and the vocational school, which he graduated in 1991. At the same time, he was tried for theft and sentenced to 2.5 years imprisonment. He was released in 1993. From 1993 to 1997, he lived in Zaporizhzhia, where he repeatedly committed theft and spent a partial term, from 1997 to 2000, in a psychiatric hospital. In 2000, he was released and returned to Berdyansk, where relatives had bought him a room, although Khamarov did not work anywhere else for a while. Murders. In November 2000, Khamarov committed his first murder. The victim was a 47-year-old woman. After this murder, Khamarov focused on younger victims. Khamarov got acquainted with the victims in the park, in bars or at dance parties, invited them to his house, drank vodka before losing self-control, engaging in sexual contact with the victim, or just started and apologized, then going out into the corridor, taking a homemade knife, sometimes taking a hammer or bottle, returning to the room and inflicting several blows on the victim. Then he would engage in sexual intercourse with the corpse, disposing it in a well afterwards. According to accounts from former friends, Khamarov did not wash for weeks and looked like a battered ragtag, but this did not stop him from seducing women. In total, from November to February 2003, he killed 11 women and girls. The head of the Berdyansk City Department of Internal Affairs, Viktor Burmakov, had this to say about him: Khamarov is not a moron, but a schizophrenic. His intelligence is quite high, the construction of phrases is literate. He remembers thoroughly where, what, when and with whom he committed. He easily got acquainted with girls. They voluntarily went to him, had sex. Usually the victim did not have time to resist. He wrapped the body in a sheet, threw it into the well and dusted it. The well is so deep that even in the heat of winter the water is cold. The corpses lay like in a refrigerator. There was no smell. The place is deaf, so there were no signals from the neighbors. His last victim was Polina Izkova, a 17-year-old mother. Khamarov killed her on February 24, 2003. 3 days later, the mother of the girl contacted the police. On March 1, a police squad arrived at Khamarov's. Izvekova's body was discovered in the well, but Khamarov said, "There are 10 more." He was immediately arrested. Subsequently, all the corpses were brought to the surface. Court and sentenced. The psychological examination recognized Ruslan Khamarov as sane at the time of the murders, and therefore the decision of the closed court, since one of the victims was a minor, which started on February 9, 2004, the criminal case consisted of 7 volumes. Khamarov received punishment under Articles 115, Parts 1 and 2, killing of 2 or more persons, and 141, robbery of the Criminal Code of Ukraine, life imprisonment. References